Good morning, good evening, and good night, everyone. Welcome back to Guilty Gear Strive, brought to you by Esports Arena Series E over here at Wednesday Night Fights. With me tonight, as I am Tabby, is Riot. Riot, how are you doing tonight?
Um, I'm actually doing pretty fantastic. Great to see some, ready to see some good old Strive violence, and ready to spend my night here, with Tabby, and yeah, just ready to see some Guilty Gear.
All right. Well, we're going to be in for some exciting Guilty Gear. I've been watching, the bracket before all this, just really getting into getting into the thick of it, and we got some great games coming up here for our top 8. So it looks like our first match that we're going to be having is going to be Test Your Luck versus X-Lancer, some good old-fashioned Nagoriyuki versus Giovanna gameplay happening. Especially these are two players who are a little farther apart from each other, so they're not going to be as practiced against each other, even on the random celestial matchmaking. So that'll be exciting to see. We're going to have Umisho, the legend themselves, and Falcor. Who's been a very strong, Falcor's here, a very strong May player. Very excited to see how they continue to progress through the rest of these Series E events. I've been seeing them around, and they've been just improving further and further and further. And then over on the loser side of things, we got Young Goki versus Marvello. That good old-fashioned. I think Goki's a Jacko player and Marvello's a chip player, if I'm remembering correctly. And then on the other side of it, we've got Adventure and Osmosis, which is another Jacko player. Adventure, the one who really put Jacko on the map to begin with in this iteration. And then Osmosis is a Zato player. So that'll be exciting to see, that sort of puppet-esque versus puppet action. As well as you can make sure to use your actions to go on over to the match arena and claim those codes. We've got 22 left of them right now. You can do !! match arena. That should be able to give you the direct links to it. And I want all those codes gone by grand finals. I'm just going to be honest. That's our goal. Claim those codes as quickly as you can. As well as if you want to donate, you can also donate, but make sure to claim those codes. It's 2 clicks. It's 2 clicks.
I'm gonna do it right now. I got you.
Yep, I've already done mine. So if you haven't done yours yet, I know there's at least 20 of you in the chat right now. So make sure to do it if you haven't already. But it looks like we got our players sitting down for their first game, and we should be jumping into it very shortly. I don't know if you've seen much. Like Nago Geo is a matchup that is, I don't feel like is like that commonly seen on the grand scale of things. With a lot of Geo players, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of Geo players have secondaries for these matchups like Nago, where they're gonna just be wanting to throw that big button out. They're gonna want to try to control that space that Geo has a hard time getting into. Now, obviously, within the new season, we have those changes, such as like Geo Dash Feint, and then also not going to be just getting hit by Nago 2H all the time that prevent that. So maybe X-Lancer feels a little more comfortable, and looks like they're ready to get into it.
So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beasts.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with X-Lancer. I do know of their past accomplishments like Arc Revo. They did pretty well in. But I'm more familiar with Test Your Luck. This guy has been on a very tough grind for the past couple of months. Like this, placing pretty well and everything he's doing. He did pretty well at Combo Breaker. Yeah, I'm actually excited to see how he'll pull this one off, considering the work that he's put in very recently.
We'll see very shortly, just right now, trying to control space for both these players, but Geo finds a / counter hit, pushing them into the corner, just staggering. Nice throw tech.
Oh, what a bait already.
Just goes for the blood man grab punish. Oh, and finds a hit with the straight end of that close slash right there. Right at the wall break, has the 50 meter to go into super.
Are we going to secure the first round here? Pretty convincing, especially as X-Lancer has no burst now. You have to fight this one out pretty smartly, and starts are pretty good. Kind of GH already.
Yep, both these characters though are very snowballing. So if you're able to find that opportunity to take it and Test Your Luck, bursting right now to try to find their own opportunity, but gets counter hit / once again. That just knocks in the corner. That's a lot of blood, but gets thrown out. No specials, but 2P is still a thing. 5H to keep him at the wall. Fukio goes for the command grab.
He might Oh, that's Blue RC.
Those slash buttons right now, trying to keep the blood gauge from going down, but it's not going to matter when you're that low of health. And Excellence, there's 50 meter to close it out. Keeping these games tight, just swinging it back and forth, and see a nice opener right there with the I-80 JK.
Oh, got caught pressing button in the 5H. Gonna go and get the possible bonus here. It's pretty scary right now for Tesla Luck, actually, but getting his burst soon. Nice.
Burst for both players, and a whip throw is not going to be a good start using that positive bonus. Gonna get the super confirm, knocking down mid-screen dash forward, but just a back dash to say safe. We're gonna just super again. We've got the meter. We can spend it, and we can win the round. Excellence taking it up 1-0 over Test Your Luck in that first game, and wow. Like, just both those players just continuously beating back and forth on each other, just the pacing through and through. But as soon as Excellence or they got that wall break, they were just, they spend that meter like it was burning a hole in their pocket. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then where they're just jumping right back into it. No time to think, no time to let your opponent breathe. Just keep the momentum going. Exactly what Excellence wants. But we'll have to see if Test Your Luck can, make those changes to slow the pace down into their favor. And you can already sort of see it right from the get-go, forcing a burst early on and finding a good hit, using the close slash to try to reduce the blood gauge. But
scoops. Okay, nice.
Keeps it in the corner, gets the command grab. No OTG though, unfortunately, but it's not going to matter with the perfect at the very end. Test Your Luck still having burst as well. Excellencer though, it's getting close to be back though, and finding the good hit, and then a good throw right there. Keeps the pressure going with plus frames, trying to catch a mash and not having it, but
it looked like a repeat of the last game, funny enough. Nice.
It definitely doesn't. I think that's what we're going to be seeing for both these. The counter hit 5H. It's going to be a great start over there for Excellence to keep that going. 50 meter as well, sitting at the wall. So big damage. BRC keeps going for the mix. Blocks all the overheads.
Got a block.
Sometimes they're going to go as well. And trading perfects back and forth for both of these players. Just trying to keep the space out, allows Test Your Luck to come in, but finds a good hit right at the get-go with those slash buttons once again, but that's going to be a blood pop as soon as they stop attacking. Guard, break, throw in the corner.
Yep, you can do that now.
YRC gets the chain shift to keep it safe. He keeps the pressure going. We're just building that blood gauge back up. We already spent it, that means I can do it again. Fukyo in very quick, but gets killed.
Oh, kind of bait and the... Wow. Okay. I did not make a bait there.
Yep. With the minor changes with season 2, you're able to burst bait there actually now a little bit easier.
Okay.
As well as it's generally after things like Beyblade, it's not as risky of a press now when you're on block, but even so, sometimes just getting hit, and you gotta test your luck and hope your opponent doesn't actually block the burst right there. But we're gonna be tying it up 1-1 now, immediately just keeping that speed going. We'll have to see if Excellence is able to shift the momentum into their favor, but Test Your Luck just keeping it very slow. And as I say, that just immediately gets Fukyo'd in, counter hit with the 5H.
Now Test with the early burst here.
And then early blood gauge as well, but no big punish for it, so not a lot of damage, just keeping at the bare minimum of that blood gauge basically, but finds a good hit to confirm that with the PRC. No, it just whiffs. 6P forcing the burst out for Excellence.
Oh yeah, good offensive burst.
Sitting at almost 300 blood gauge over there for Test Your Luck, but a jump in will be able to find the closure that Excellence needs right now. We'll have to see if they can change the pass, take this one for a win, or if Test Your Luck's going to be able to find it right here. It's looking like a great start for Test Your Luck.
Yeah, they're penetrating to reset the blood gauge already, and hey, you got the pressure, you got a block. Oh, you got hit. All right.
Sometimes you have to guess, and sometimes you guess wrong right there on that pressure, but finds a hit with the cross-up JK. Trying to find an opportunity right now. RC tapping up his blocks. Excellencer gets the throw 50 meter for both players. No more positive bonus after Test Your Luck. So this can be a great start in the burst. Excellencer not able to get a full punish off at YRC to keep him out, but that's fast filling blood gauge, and those are specials being used, so this is potentially very dangerous. YRC out of the dust, thrown back once again. Blood gauge.
And what?
The throw didn't kill right there. With the blood gauge timing, didn't deal enough damage with the guts. and Test Your Luck scams it out right at the very end, keeping the story the same as we've seen so far. But that's no burst for Test Your Luck. Excellencer has burst. This could be a big swing if needed as well. Right now, just trying to find an opportunity to get him. But Test Your Luck playing very defensively because that blood gauge is running home.
I'm actually liking how mobile Excellencer is choosing to be. Sometimes especially with the blood gauge going up. Really wanted to avoid any angles that Nug can really hit at. Miss.
Unfortunately, when you get too close, he does control all the angles, and a whip throw from that range is going to spell danger for you. Test Your Luck now taking it up 2-1 over Excellencer.
Just as I say that, yeah, Excellencer got put in a sticky situation.
Yeah, the risk they took was calculated, but I'm not good at math personally, so I would have done the same thing. But yeah, that was a great showing over on there. The players given a little bit more time to think right now, just catching their breath, really seeing is this, do I want to be bringing Geo into this? Because Geo, as we've seen, Excellencer's taking it back and forth, taking it to the needle basically every game, but it's a little hard when you're playing a character that doesn't have the ability to close the gap as well as some other ones. So
yeah,
potentially see a shift. But right now, just taking a breather, drink your water. You want to stay on that winner side of the bracket. You want to make it easy when you get through the rest of it. You don't want to have to go down and then face the coin flip.
For sure, yeah.
So Excellencer's H button fell right off.
Oh.
So I think it's putting it back together. I completely understand this feeling because I always break my fierce button or my heavy punch button or my heavy kick button because those are my back in the days you had to make sure those buttons worked, and I broke the hell out of those. So
hey, I've broken a heavy punch and heavy kick button playing enough CVS2 over a month, so I get it.
Oh yeah, CVS2. Oh, you're definitely putting some work on those buttons.
I've had my fair share of broken buttons.
I think we all have. So it looks like we're just going to be getting that fixed. And while they're getting that fixed, you can go on over and check out the match arena while we have it still up. We still got codes available. Well, maybe I haven't even actually checked, but I almost can guarantee you there are 18 codes left. We got some of them down, but that's not all of them yet. Go on over to that match arena, claim those codes. It's 2 clicks. You just sign into your Twitter account. I know you all got one. And then you just go over there, you claim the Twitter one. There's other quests you can do. You can add more to the prize pool. You can donate on yourself if you'd like. But what I like is some more Guilty Gear action, which it looks like we got that button situation all fixed out. Test Your Luck, taking it right now 2-1 over Excellencer. This could be a match point situation for them, or can Excellencer come back and turn the fairy tale into their favor?
Oh, unfortunately, wow. Unfortunately, whiff grab there, intentionally just calling it out or taking advantage of it. And both birds are now gone.
Use them early and jump over the super. Doesn't hit both sides. You're going to find a great punish right there, starting to close slash. But the 6H not going to fully connect. Allowing Test Your Luck to take their turn back. Counter hit 6B. What? Excellent. Finds an opportunity to get hit once again. And this is going to be using the far slash series gap right there to spend your super, hit RC, and get a close slash for the very end. Excellencer keeping it alive and well. The clash just early on. You get me every time.
Oh, got caught reaching. You reach, I teach, and box right here and take a chunk out that neck.
Command throw, keeping the blood pressure going while you have it, and finds a hit. Not able to get a full conversion, but that's still going to be big damage when you guess incorrectly once. Tying it up with a perfect once again. Back and forth, back and forth. Both these players showing their dominance, and they slow it down on that 3rd round where it gets to the wire, jumps out of the throw, finding a great hit. Going to be using, I love that decision from Excellence, using the OTG close slash and then dash canceling it just to keep your pressure up. But YRC out from Test Your Luck, just trying to do anything right now to get that blood gauge down while they can from the full screen, and then finding those good hits to get a Fukio in. But the 2S is going to whip.
Oh, what a wacky hitbox.
What a button indeed. Excellence are now sitting at a pixel for Test Your Luck's match point right now, and Dash Fukio He's going to do it. Test your luck, taking it 3-1 over Excellencer. Move on over to winners finals, but they're not out just yet. You know, we're still going to see Excellencer over in the loser side, where they'll end up playing the winner of Young Goki and Marvello. But that match is in the future. We don't got to worry about that match yet. We got to worry about the upcoming match that we have, you know, but we'll hold on to that. I'm gonna give you the make you hold that anticipation just right now. You know, that match was a really great showing from both those players. Like I was just saying right at the very end, the close slash dash cancels that Excellencer was doing was really good at keeping that momentum, but Test Your Luck was just utilizing those long range buttons, just, you know, playing classic, very steady defense with Nago. Because the times where they did want to get a little aggressive, it was, you know, it smelled danger for them, where they just were popping blood gauge with their opponent in the corner, so they were getting huge punishes for that.
Yeah, for sure. Oh wow, we're getting right into the next match. That's great.
Yep. Umisho is usually one of the first I see coming into these lobbies while the other games are still happening. So we got Umisho and Falcor. Once again, Happy Chaos versus May. You know, if you haven't been watching season 2 of Guilty Gear Strive, then Happy Chaos doesn't play exactly the same. He does very similar things, but Umisho has shown what this character can do with those zoning changes being a little weaker and the rushdown game being a lot better, but Falco doing a great job as well baiting that burst and just trying to control the pace, forcing the concentration.
And then even in characters like May, like I'm seeing a lot of I don't know, like May was already becoming a less played character, but especially like this match, it definitely seemed to be more on the decline, but Falcor here showing us that maybe still got it.
May can still kill you in a hit and a half, so it's definitely something you have to be worried about. BRC mix coming out, but doesn't block the double overhead, forcing the burst for Falcor right there. But a Dolphin comes through going under the curse. Let's go for a reset.
Always started blasting.
That's that classic Happy Chaos zoning that you're known for, but they don't get to go in just as quickly, so they have to back off and gain that concentration back a little quicker from their way.
Unfortunate side switch.
Yep, doesn't keep them in the corners. This is exactly where Umisho wants, and using that Superman punch to close it out. Tied it up quickly, though. Falcor not out of it just yet. Dolphin comes through, but getting shot out of the sky.
Focus there, bro. This makes it. Oh my lord! Yo, relax.
There's as we said, a Happy Chaos used to be the rushdown zoner strike throw mix up left right mix up machine. Now just doesn't have as much zone. So you see right here, just keeping them in the corner, finding those hits, and just dealing good damage with the gunshots. But concentration super coming out, keeping like BRC to block the burst. Gonna be a full punish as well in the corner with the 7 golden letters in the perfect. Umisho taking that one up 1-0 versus Falcor.
Yeah, very. Falcor was looking dominant in the first round, but Umisho just sat back. He's like, you know what? I just remember that I'm a gun. So.
Yeah, so, you know, the break from top 8 gives you a little bit of time. You're not as warmed up, but just, you know, it takes one game. You go, okay, I remember what I'm doing. I remember what May does. I remember how much pressure they want to be putting on me. They want to just be coming in with dolphins and whales and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Yeah, this last time I checked, bullets beat dolphins. So
dolphins are not bulletproof indeed. So we'll just be jumping right into the next one as well. To see if Falcor can find those hits, you know, like it's still May. It's still a character that you be very worried about their damage potential, where one wrong counter hit that you make can just end your entire life bar. Especially with a character who's a little bit less strong or less healthy as Happy Chaos, but using those rolls, getting those hits early on, and just dealing constant pressure, but utilizing all of their resources to do so. Now having to pressure without concentration, finding a good hit, and finally get first outers.
Oh, couldn't get the conversion there. It doesn't matter. He's just going to capitalize on this for sure. Getting a quick carrier.
From full screen, tactical rolls through, but not able to get the
nice
attack for both players. Finds Dolphin hit PRC, but bursts out. Yep. After the bursting after the PRC was spent just to guarantee it and keeping it close. Hits him with the dust once again, but didn't have bullets to get that combo. And right now, no bullets is not a place where you want to be as Happy Chaos. PRC forward gets 1 reload, gets 2 reload. But it still is Falcor's time to deal good damage, potentially 50 meter. PRC forward.
Oh, this is yes, that was a really good hit. I was liking what Umisha was doing here too, was the RC to slow him down and be able to reload real quick.
Yep, utilizing that time that you have, finding those gaps to reload, and Falcor found a gap in the sky, knocking them out of it. The whale themselves knocking it full screen. Umisho now at a sneeze away from death and has to hold this safe jump and gets hit with the tap dust, but first comes back for Umisho and attempts to burn first. But then Falcor takes that game in kind with a perfect as well, tying it up 1-1.
Okay, Falcor, go ahead and take a SeaWorld. It's okay.
Yeah. Seeing Shamu, you're seeing Echo. That's the only 2 animals I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, that's that's really good pacing over there from Falcor, showing that hey, you still have to respect me. You can be twerking on the other side of the screen or up in my face with that gun, trying to pressure me out of existence. But if I find that one gap, that one mistake, it's over.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely one trait that the best players have. Like when there's an opportunity to take advantage of a mistake or you have a drop, like they're on that. Like you just have to be.
Right now, Falcor's taking advantage of that hit, tries to go for a throw tech reset, but Umisho is prepared for it. Right now, just keeping it calm, but gets clipped by the curse at the very end. So Umisho finding a good hit with the curse as well, not using as much concentration. Goes for the Nix, but is slightly too high. May hasn't gotten her growth spurt just yet. And a nice throw from Falcor, finding a hit as well with that 2-8.
Like I just side switch maybe the wall break here too.
The PRC forward. YRC out immediately afterwards after Falcor's RRC, just finding a hit though after spending all the meter. But not dead just yet, but shot out of the Dolphin. Umisho keeping it around with the burst as well. Falcor also getting the burst back right at the end, so this could be good for them in forcing the burst out really early on.
Yeah, definitely a solid push for Umisho here too. Still has their burst, then they grab before. Oh, really just low overhead there.
Finding all these stray hits, but not getting conversions off them, just prepping those block strings, trying to find those pressure reset points. Umisho found a point to get sent to the other side of the screen, jumping out, thinking to throw someone, but just has to hold a block in the air. And an overhead kiss in the corner is going to spell big damage. Don't have the meter to finish it out just yet. Umisho still has burst. Probably going to be saving it for the next round. PRC for the mix. Yep. Just keep it in there, not trying to pull a Cali burst out this early on in the bracket. Just tactical roll in, finds a hit with it as well. Concentration, keep him in the corner. This is exactly where Umisho wants you. Hold this quadruple overhead right there. Slumps into the corner once again. I'm going to do it again. You hold it, tap dust, get at the wall. And do it one more time. Found another hit as well. Do it again. The third time. The charm, can you find it out? You cannot. Deus Ex Machina. 12 shots. This time, I've got 12 shots and a wall break. Umisho with a perfect, just styling over on Falcor right there. Now taking it up 2-1.
Bro, is he doing frame trap off the head shots? Coming down?
Yes. So those are I think 1-frame gaps where certain like fast reversal supers get through, and that's it.
Wow.
Or they might be gapless. It's one of the two. But you can also stagger them as frame traps. Like it's a dangerous situation where, and at any point he can take that hit stun up top and then immediately just go low. So you're having to hold it. You're having to hold a real mix. It's very scary. Umisho has been very good at just keeping him on the other side of the wall, not forcing wall breaks early on. But I'm ready for Umisho to bring out the infinite block string as well, which is something that you do have to be worried for, especially versus a character like May, who doesn't have a reversal to get out of the start of it.
Oh, and the go burst?
Gold versus.
Here we go. It starts now.
It's a good start for that, but just keeping them at the wall, safe jumps. Keep them there.
Oh. Okay. Yosemite going crazy.
No bullets, but gets a hard knockdown to get a couple left. Keeping them at the wall. BRC mix still. I'm gonna keep going overhead. You gotta respect it. You gotta just keep holding block on my plus frames. Umi Show now on match point as well as finding a 2K to kick that dolphin. Putting Falcor right into the corner.
But it doesn't matter. Umi Show is keeping Falcor where they want.
And the 6B coming out. Going for that concentration super, so sitting at 50 meter, this is exactly where Umisha wants. If they can find a good hit right at the get-go, they get the infinite block string while they're in positive bonus, but Falcor just keeping the pressure down, letting them not have it. Overhead kiss in the corner, gonna deal big damage, getting the wall stuck, and the Orca coming out. Killer whale, killer damage, tying it up after just like 1 or 2 interactions. And a great counter hit right at the start with the RC. No burst available for Umisha.
Okay. Falcor's still in it.
Falcor's not out just yet. Umi Show may be doing some scary things, but animals are scary. That's why they keep them in cages at least. Finding a good hit though, and now we have concentration with full bullets at a good range. This is a very comfortable situation. Umi Show kicks the dolphin into the sky.
Oh wow. I believe that's jump 2K from Chaos. The stomp thing.
Yeah. Yep, it is jump 2K, finding a good hit right there, and then allowing him to get the mix in the corner once again. You're blocking, that's a lot of overhead that you got to press right there, but didn't have the bullets to close it out. But that last interaction did. Umi Show taking it 3-1 over Falcor in that set.
Yeah, solid showing from both players regardless. Umi Show, like, is really showing the potential of Chaos is just offense it's all around the corner. Even mid screen, still doing the roll mix ups and all that. But man,
absolutely, yeah. This is definitely Umi Show. They were showing how strong they were. We saw them at Combo Breaker. I've seen them on we've seen them on how many Wednesday Night Fight top 8 grand finals. And so they've been very, very strong in Happy Chaos, and it's good to see that they're able to take the stuff the character's able to do now and continue to be that good, to continue to just constantly pressure their opponents over and over and over again, and not let these these changes that reduced his zoning plan a little bit to affect them too much. But excellent stuff from Falcor there as well. Like Excellencer, they're not out just yet. They're on the loser side of the bracket. They got a couple more, rounds that they'll have to play than if they would in the winner side. But it's Guilty Gear. Anything can happen.
Oh, for sure, anything can happen. For sure. We all know how volatile the game can be. So just stay calm and just keep playing.
Yes, absolutely. And it looks like we got our next players sitting down, getting into the arena, so to speak. And it's going to be Young Goki versus Marvello. Jacko versus Chip. Oddly enough, this is a matchup I just watched like 10 games of this past weekend at one of our local events. So it's a very interesting matchup conceptually, because Chip has the mobility and the tools to get past Jacko pressure. But, if Jacko just needs one hit to get their game plan going, and then it also allows them to just end Chip's career, so to speak. And finding those early roaming chances for both these players, finding some good counter hits, trading leg troubles to put Young Goki in the corner, find himself throw as well.
Oh, nice overhead going for the RC here. Okay.
And finding the overhead off the Rekka. Oh, no full confirm, but the throw is gonna do it. Saying, I don't need confirmed, we're just going playing good old-fashioned strike.
Why had to apply some type of aggression here, but it doesn't matter, gonna get a counter here, and the version will go to you. Okay.
You gotta hold this opposite side alpha blade. Going 50 meter as well from Marvello, choosing a PRC with it.
Oh, that's ideal.
Yep. Some players choosing to spend that meter on a YRC. Oh, but the DP drops at the very end. Marvello, the YRC, just as I said, to get out of the minion pressure and using the 6K to take that one. 1-0. You know, this is the story that we've seen. Somebody takes it early on, then the next person comes through and then sweeps the last 3 games. So we'll have to see if Young Goki is able to fully fulfill that prophecy that we've seen on the winner's side, or if Marvello can take it with a clean 3-0 sweep, or even more. We'll have to see if, you know, if Young Goki can always fight back. Both these players rocking the orange color as well. I just realized that, keeping it in theme and on character right now. Nice instant block over there from Marvello. I'm going to start that pressure against the Jacko. Goes for the mix, and I did not block that burst coming out. Oh,
yeah, Gobi trying to create space to be able to set up the booters, but it's not really working out. Marvello is really trying to apply some type of offense here. Not trying to let Jacko set up, because that's where the danger happens. The command grab for the kill.
Yep, using the wall cling mix into the leaf grab just to close it out. One thing Marvello is also doing a very good job of in this match is utilizing that high P to blow up those minions. Just having that 3-frame mix is very useful, and we're getting wall stick combos. Keeps him into the corner though. Saying no wall break. We're not going back in mid-screen, but Young Goki wants it using the burst, allowing them to start their pressure with DPs out of it. Only needs one more good interaction in their favor. But Young Goki blocks an overhead and blocks the burst as well. It's going to be a great start for them. Gets thrown as well. Minion behind, but instant block. The RC. And the clip of the JH doesn't kill right there. Jacko just barely alive and finding those hits.
So with whip punch on the 6P there. And that's tech. Wow.
And then J2K comes spinning down. Marvello now taking that 1-2-0. Already a different story than what we've seen so far. Just trying to keeping the pace completely in their favor, showing that they have full control of this matchup.
Yeah, I'm liking the pace from Marvello for sure, and then they're really solid at like knowing when to basically chill, because like you'll go buck or they'll go buck, essentially, not letting Goki set up the minions, but then they just know when to, you know, just dial it back a bit, chill, analyze the situation, what they're trying to do, all that good stuff. You know, it's really important for this in general. That's running out the way.
A clash right there, trading for both these players. Very similar story to the first team. Forcing burst out for Marvello, and finding a good counter hit in the corner, and outvote the forcing burst for Young Goki. Minion party coming through. You know, one good thing that Marvello has also been doing through these games is forcing Young Goki to use those minions at low meter boost percentage, not allowing them to gain that meter back. They found themselves an opportunity for it though, so as I say, it's not going to matter potentially, but this full conversion YRC out with triple minions. This could spell danger for Marvello if they're not careful. Throwing the minion out. No houses to be set. Gets hit with the overhead, but it's not up just yet. And the second overhead comes through. Now taking it. Young Goki sitting here though with full meter gauge after the round. 4 minions so they can start tossing them whenever they'd like. But they're maybe not even get a chance to if they get thrown right there. Keeps the pressure going. Wall clean mix block the right side. Because I sure didn't. Pressure. Yep.
Marvello is just on. Okay.
Doing it again, gets the RC as well. This is now match point, and Marvello ends that with a 3-0 with the perfect, you know, just showing dominance in the pacing of that. A great showing from Young Goki as well. Once they got their chances to go with Jacko, they were doing great. They were just continuously holding that line down, but Marvello just said, no, thank you. I'm good. We're not playing your game. You're in Chip's world now.
Yeah, we refuse to let you summon your little gang, okay?
No houses that you have to be thrown down.
Nope.
Nothing like that.
No, construction workers are out of business right now. Ain't no houses.
summertime. It's too hot. It's too hot. No houses. You're just throwing the people at your opponent. And just like you can throw some codes into the match arena if you haven't already. Make sure to do that. While I got a chance to wait for our next set of players to be coming up for the end of our first set of games. We're at 12 codes. We're over. What is that? Math is hard for me. We're 3/4 of the way done basically with these codes. I know there's 12 of you in there. You just head on over to that match arena, claim those codes. We always really appreciate it. The players really appreciate it as well. Just being able to have that prize pot coming through shows the dedication that they have put into these games to grind out to be, world-class players competing for these prize pots.
So we go ahead and do it in Matcherino. It'll give the players a power boost, I promise.
Yep. Absolutely. And both these players could use a power boost to keep their run alive in the losers bracket. We've got Adventure versus Osmosis.
Another interesting matchup actually. Jacko versus Zara, they both have some type of summoning going on.
Yep, you've got a more traditional puppet game plan over there from Osmosis, but Jacko plays a puppet adjacent style gameplay, is the best way to put it. Just throwing minions out and utilizing their actions from full screen, but not as like a traditional Arceus puppet. Right now, Osmosis doing a great job to keep Adventure in the corner, but jumping out for a side swap gets hit with the air shark. And just stagger pressure, frog overhead, dust overhead. It's a hard situation because you are guessing for your life. JD coming through, getting the wall break though. Adventure has 50 meter.
And another grab again on the ground. And they're gonna get the corner carry here. And then grab it again. The whole lot of scoops.
The strike throw is dangerous. Osmosis going for a very risky burst potentially if it doesn't go into their favor, but Eddie now stuck on the opponent after Sword Super.
2K. Still it's favorable for
they found a good hit right there, but it looks like it's PC Net Play tournament. Things can happen to everyone, but it looks like the players were able to circumvent past that and jumping right back into it. Now Adventure keeping the pace and going into the corner, showing off their buddy, and just leaping Osmosis into the corner, finds a hit after that pressure sequence into the command ground super, going for the wall break as well. It's going to be big damage for Adventure. They only need one more situation to win the game, but the hand comes out saying, hold this, we're going back.
On the 5H. Adventure time it up. I was just about to get their burst back, so it's not totally the best.
And Adventure says, I don't even want my burst. You can have it. Let's get back to mid-screen. Let me throw the minions out. It's party time. 2P mash out as well. Frog to keep the pressure safe and let them run up. I mean, all these good hits oppose right now, trying to check any forward movement that Adventure does, but they're more than happy to just throw minions. Now you're behind. It's going to be very dangerous. YRC out. The YRC in the maturity.
Now all the gold bursts. I was liking how Osmosis was trying to navigate around the minions around there. Doing a lot of the float mechanic and a lot of jump Ds. And strive.
Yep, just right now trying to control the airspace, find themselves an opportunity. An interesting, because I'm not familiar with all of Zato's projectile properties. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can utilize to get around those minions and finding that good dust right there to put Osmosis into the corner. It's meter gain super time. It's going to be big damage. Gotta hold that AO fight back. AO fight back gets thrown into the corner. Adventure taking that one up 1-0.
Oh, that was the first game?
Yep, that was the first game. That's some of these games with these slower characters. They're not as explosive. You're not dying in one soul bad guy combo with the Roman cancel DP. This is some honest asterisks, Guilty Gear asterisks. That's happening,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
With a huge emphasis on the asterisks.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it was a great showing right now at the early stages of these games. Adventure, just able to edge out right at the very end, though, and you could see once that minion pressure got going, which Osmosis has done a very good job of not allowing that to happen. Adventure just was able to take full control. So, and you saw the same thing happen on Osmosis's end. So you'll have to see who can really utilize, or not utilize, but who can utilize the realization that it's their turn, it's their time to start pressuring.
Yeah, so they're going to exit the lobby and come back in and see if that fixes the connection freezes. So.
Absolutely. Yep. Generally, sometimes just a quick restart of the game even is usually what I do whenever I'm having these kind of connection issues. But we're in top 8. It's late at night for all of us. I'm on the West Coast, but so we got East Coast players. They got work tomorrow morning. So hopefully we can get these matches going through very quickly, just like those Match Reno codes. I want to see them, we can get through all those very quickly. We can get through them as quickly as possible. If you just click those links, click those codes, and, add that free money. It's free money for these players.
Yep. And I will say, if you donate right now, we won't have another connection issue. I'm just say right now. Go ahead and donate. Support the players, please.
So well, I was just gonna say, one thing that I think, as we were saying earlier with Osmosis right now doing a very good job of controlling the airspace. You saw a quick change over onto how Adventure was wanting to be playing that as well. As soon as they recognized that was happening, they immediately just started going into the air. They were just throwing air minions to check that pressure. They were throwing air fireballs. They were doing anything they could to prevent Osmosis from utilizing that space. And I think that's going to be the real key to success in these games if they can micromanage through that.
That's definitely one thing I've always admired about Adventure and like other like solid Jackals. Like they're really solid about like knowing about their minion placements for sure. I feel like minion placements and just knowing like how to control the space and knowing how to like attack people for trying their hardest to get rid of the minions, and just basically just calling them out and taking advantage of any type of space going on. And that's definitely one thing that Ed is very good with.
Absolutely. And it looks like both these players seem to potentially be good now. Sitting back down at the cabinet, readying their weapons, ready to fight as soon as they press the button. But yeah, hopefully, so in this upcoming games, I'll see if Osmosis can really take that pressure and utilize it, try to swing these matches into their favor, or if Adventure can continue to just control the land, air, and sea, throwing their minions, setting them up on every single point of the screen.
Duel 1.
Here we go in game 2. We already with the code, trying to stop any noise from the beginning. Doesn't really matter. That's 2P.
Yeah. Zato 2P, one of the scariest ones in the game, and especially with these system changes, that's good for them. Gold Burst as well is going to be very good for Osmosis.
Well, that's jump to trade. Again, I'll go without this.
Trying to find something, using that meter off of FZs and Roman cancels, and just immediately spending on the YRC. Oppose coming out once again, and a nice air tech over there from Adventure, recognizing the situation. Now Osmosis is starting to get thrown into the corner. It's minion time. That's going to be a great pressure sequence, burning that meter for them.
And, oh, never mind.
Finds a hit to put him into the corner. Adventure already swinging it into their favor. Nice clash with the drill right there on the projectile. Wow, Osmosis start their turn.
Oh, and the dust cracks the head top. Gotta watch your noggin. Can't go through the wall here.
And immediately going for the reversal super, saying, you don't get to press anything. I'm going to just end it right now. We're getting into the next one. I want my burst back as quickly as possible. The hand coming out, but not able to check anything with it. Just immediately putting Adventure into the corner. This is where Osmosis wants to be. Command grab. Builds that Eddie gauge back up. Throws him on the ground. Hold these blocks. AO fight back. AO hold the mix. Strike throw overhead low. What's it gonna be?
Nope, he dropped it. Oh, almost baited the burst. I think. Wait, what? I'm pretty sure it came back up too early. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'm not too certain either right there, but I am certain that Osmosis has put Adventure right back into the same position. They want them to H things in the corner.
Oh, nice block.
Building that any gauge back, but getting hit one more time with Jack and 50 meter, now forcing the burst out for Osmosis. This is a great situation for Adventure though. Having minion buff in the corner, trying to get gauge, no Eddie available. Minion super once again. Keeps it going. You have spent all that meter on blocking while still taking chip damage. Finds the strike. One touch situation for either of these players. 2P mash out.
Couldn't really get enough for reward up in that build. And yeah, Adventure just really taking advantage of that space.
And Adventure doing a great job right now, taking it 2-0 over Osmosis, utilizing that Jacko threat that they have, pretty much sculpted, being one of the earliest Jackos on the market to sort of really show what that character can do to their fullest, and they're showing it right now versus Osmosis.
Yeah, for sure. And then definitely a nice ending sequence there for Osmosis to jab out, and then Adventure just reclicking himself and decided to just create space and throw up minions just to make Osmosis commit to any risky option.
Absolutely, and Adventure is doing a very safe option in that guard crush, finding a purple combo into the Tombstone Super. Pick him up, put him back down, toss him around. Wall break, positive bonus, going to be a great spot for Adventure. You now have to hold all these blocks, have to hold all these minions, and as soon as I get in there with a dust, I don't even need to minion super, because you're going to get hit overhead. Adventure now sitting on match point. Potentially, Osmosis has to work very hard to make this comeback happen. Let's see if they can do it, or if Adventure can find a counter hit to start this going. Grab super once again, keeps him in the corner. That does so much damage. That does so much damage.
Wait a minute.
Close it out. I'm not entirely sure why that dealt that much damage there, but what I do know is Osmosis definitely felt the brunt of it, allowing Adventure to take it up 3-0. Interesting that our entire bracket so far in this first round of games has been 3-1 on the winner's side and 3-0 on the loser's side. Just a weird coincidence. We'll have to see if that keeps going in these future games, or if these players are just ready to jump into it. We're gonna start with Falcor versus Marvello, sitting on the cabinet, ready to face against each other to keep their dream alive.
Wait, are they still playing the game? I thought it was 3-0.
I thought it was 3.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
Maybe it's 2.
Was that 2? I thought it was 3. I thought it was a 3-0, and I didn't. I was just going autopilot there, to be honest. But well, we can keep seeing some excellent Guilty Gear action right now, though.
Yeah, I'll verify with them.
Okay.
Yeah, doing some great pressure right there, and Osmosis now turning these games into their favor. So far, just utilizing really good pressure. Adventure finding a hit, or finding themselves getting hit right now. Osmosis doing a great job controlling the space, control the screen throw tech for both these players, but no Eddie meter to come from Adventure.
Nice. And always playing with the heavy minion control. Oh, never mind.
We're right back into it as well. Nice. Not a lot of minion gauge to work with, but still got a buddy out. Gets rammed through, hit with the dust, and the frog combo keeps it going. It gets run up, command throw, the classic. He's keeping himself getting hit. Sword to break the wall, full Eddie gauge as well with positive bonus. He's going to put Osmosis into a good spot. He keeps the pressure going. YRC's out of the dust, saying, I'm not having to block anything. We're just going back to mid-screen. This is where Adventure can take it into their favor. Nice 2P out there.
So apparently they didn't want the first game to count. So,
yeah. Okay. That's all fine and dandy. So it's Adventure right now 2-0, keeping it alive. And Osmosis is doing a great job checking out those buttons, putting themselves into a great space, but Adventure finding those right couple hits, forcing the burst up for Osmosis at the very end. Did they press something when the Sword Super was coming out? They did, but they were able to FD in time.
Oh my. And he gets clipped.
The clip at the very end, Adventure now putting themselves on match point for the second time in this series. So we'll have to see if they are able to do it, but they can hit Dust early on. This is going to spell big damage. And the JD Osmosis needs a couple more interactions to take it into their favor. No Eddie leader to make a miracle happen off that first hit.
He's blocking the Dust and just do it again.
Do it again, forcing the burst out. Adventure saying it's my time. It's time for the comeback story. And starts the pressure going, the wire out. Having to hold those buttons. Oh, but the spin kicks aren't meaty enough. And Osmosis now takes it 2-1 with those 2Ps.
Man. Definitely a solid adjustment from Osmosis for sure. Definitely when the minions was out, like they made it a point to just not let Adventure be able to get any more advanced than they already did. To force Adventure to just try a different approach, and then Osmosis just was just one step ahead.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, Osmosis uses that fourth game knowledge to really elevate their game plan to the next level. Let's see if Adventure is able to change that pacing into their favor. And it looks like a great start for them, forcing the burst out early on for Osmosis. Right now, just trying to do anything to keep Osmosis from starting their game plan by chucking minions, chucking, projectiles. And putting themselves in a good situation. Minions out with the guard crush as well. So this is going to be a great start for Adventure. The RC back after the throw. The Gold Burst comes out after the throw. That was just slightly too far. Osmosis now getting their chance to start their party time. Has the 50 meter as well after the Dust. No Eddie to continue out just yet, so Adventure gets to stay alive for another moment.
I've been liking the opposing Osmosis a lot.
Using it to offset that minion placement, using a great job to keep them in the corner as well. And the JD is going to allow them to take it. Right now, Osmosis keeping it alive. Adventure needs these next 2 rounds to go into their favor. Minions coming out, holding that guard crush. You have to block the 50-50, and they block correctly and mash out with the 5H. A great start.
Nice. Oh. I was trying to bait a burst with that burst there.
Now with that failed fate, it's their time. It's Adventure's time to start going. Jumps out, picks the minion up, not getting drilled today, and finds a good anti-air hit, forcing a burst out for Osmosis.
Yeah, solid oppose again.
Throwing that pressure, those spin kicks doing great work for them. Minion pressure time, but doesn't have the house gauge to keep it going. Finds a good hit. We get the conversion. Cap Dust puts them at a pixel and is able to close it out. Adventure once again on match point. Osmosis only 1 game away though from keeping the dream alive. Doesn't have burst to take this combo. Minions coming out from full screen in the corner. And forcing a wall break. Already at 40% health. This is looking great for Adventure with burst as well.
Yeah, nice jump to beat John B too. In the club, and get the point carry here. Very nice. You keep the pressure on the RC, YRCs. Then kill AO, it was nice.
The 2D into the corner as well. Burst now immediately just getting out of there. Standing not letting you build that 50 meter to try to do anything risky. You're gonna have to use it to hold my blocks. Right now, Adventure just finding that last hit right there with the RC and closing it out with a 3-1.
I need to beat the what's it called again? Drill or something?
Yes.
Invite to Hell. Yeah.
Yep. There we go. And you know what I said earlier. The story has changed. We're now at 3-3-1s and a 3-0. So disregard that. But yeah, we'll be seeing Adventure continuing to move on to their next game versus Excellencer. Great showing there from Osmosis. Almost started to make that comeback, but Adventure just really flipped on the switch, flipped on the I win switch right at the very end, and was ready to close it out and keep it as the books were originally written, so to speak.
But who we got next again?
It looks like we are going to have our next set of players, which I believe will be Falcor and Marvello sitting down. But if you're sitting down at your computer right now with this Twitch page open, you can go on over and check the match arena before this game begins. Make sure to do that and clean up all those last few remaining codes, just like Marvello and Falcor are going to try to clean up each other's life bars to the very end to move on over to the loser semifinals match. Let's see how this is able to proceed. Orange on both sides once again, keeping it classy.
Everybody loves orange.
It's a great color, a consistently good color palette across the board for both these characters. And we'll have to see what their starting options, and Dolphins coming out trading over with Marvello. You know, just like we were seeing before with Falcor. You know, this is something that if Chip takes a hit, you know, it's Chip Twitter flip moment times sometimes, where you can just lose 80% of your life off a single combo with no meter spend. So you have to be very risky if you blocked a lot from the Mei, and this is the start of that risk right now. One wrong guess and it's going to smell death, certainly after one hit. And the overhead kiss is going to be the start for that. And baits the burst as well.
That's honestly really rough against Mei, because she was in a position to where you either get your wrist cranked or you just gamble your whole life away.
Absolutely, and they're gambling once again, finding those dolphin hits. Killer Whale coming through, Shamu damage, not dead just yet though, thanks to the gut scaling. Gets to run a safe jump, and that was pretty safe right there, so it allows Falcor to take that first game up 1-0.
Man. Already a dominant showing from Falcor here, taking him to SeaWorld. Got the fast pass.
We got the fast pass, skipping all. Well, Marvello's got the fast pass actually, skipping all the lines, right to the blunt to the attractions. You are in a splash zone warning at the show, but you know, Marvello's doing a very good job of trying to stop the pressure that Falcor is doing. Falcor just is utilizing that big damage that Mei gets to set the pacing in their favor, but Marvello already showing off a good starter. A couple stray hits into a leaf grab is going to be 50%. Now that's risk gauge building. You got to block this mix. Remove the charge as well from that. You can't even dolphin out of there.
Oh, and the burst. Get off of me. Nice.
Go with 2H right there. Was Marvello to get a grab and clean it up at the very end.
Flick little tick throw there at the end.
Mei tick throws are also very scary with that command grab being able to combo, and also having 100 meter after that gold burst is going to be very scary. Side swap as well, PRC after the throw. I'm throwing him again. That's what we're doing. Trades with the DP. Dolphins coming through to keep Marvello in the corner. Falcor needs one hit realistically to take them out, but Marvello doing a great job of doing good old-fashioned chip pressure. Mix in the corner once again. It was opposite side.
Oh, it's XP. Oh, nice job.
Nice match out on the Alpha Blade RC right there. Finds another hit as well. Falcor just needs that one good hit as well. Burst available for Marvello if they feel their life in danger, and they're going to use the gold burst.
Gold burst.
And using the chip super, but PRC out. You can say PRC forward, and a back dash. Get the shimmy to bait out the throw. Falcor now taking it 2-0 over Marvello.
Man. Very dominant showing. I think Falcor is really just able to just apply pressure, like push Marvello to the corner eventually, and then it's just, I don't know, Falcor's just so decent right now at just shutting down every single option that Marvello wants to go for.
Just doing a very good job controlling the screen space with that anchor, with those, you know, with the pets, and just not allowing Marvello to use the chip mobility. Because, you know, when we see Marvello get that opportunity to slip and slide through, they're doing a great job at just constantly changing where they're at on the screen. But Falcor is able to control the space around them to keep themselves safe. And just like this, you've already seen big damage with a fully charged 5H. Putting the Dolphin to clean it out. Now onto match point.
Yeah, are gonna get the frame kill here. A nice jump out there, coming in, grab an offensive burst in the corner. You think you're going?
Red's going throw, grabbing out to stay safe, keeping them coast to coast as well. Was the mix? Hurricane mix, J2K, or the jump cancel actually, then into a J2K.
Nice. And now it's Marvello. Oh, now it's returned against, and then Marvello showing signs of life here. Both players almost about to get their burst back anyway, so it should be still positive for him.
Ooh, yeah, Marvello doing a fantastic job to turn this game into Chip's favor and finding those good straight hits right now with no burst, no meter. He has no reason to be afraid of those scary mash-outs from Falcor. But Falcor gets the side swap right now, gets the RC and mix all they want, but Beta Blade out and the burst bait afterwards. Putting them back onto the other side. We're going to the other end of the country right now. We're seeing what animals are over there. Finding a good hit as well. And the leaf grab comes out. And not utilizing that after a couple games to really check them. And just normal throw into RC. Yep. Going to allow Marvello to take that one, showing that they're not done just yet. They still got a couple more games to play to potentially move on over to the next round. But Falcor just needs a couple good old-fashioned swings, and that'll put them right onto the next end. So we'll have to see where these players are able to take themselves into this upcoming game.
Yeah, for sure. William Marvello's started catching on to Falcor's, because Falcor's doing a lot of like cross-ups and frame kills and then going for like cheeky grabs. I think Marvello's catching on, but I don't really have a doubt that Falcor's going to be able to just tone that down. But we shall see in this game. But right now, Marvello looking very dominant. He's playing right here, and we're just going to get the wall break. Oh, never mind.
Nope. Just keeping it safe. No wall break. Just keeping the mix going. Goes for the overhead as well. Just utilizing that stagger pressure, trying to force Falcor to press anything. But they're not having Dolphin and just reinforcing a very quick burst over on Marvello's end. Keeps him in the corner as well. Goes overhead. Blocks high again. DP whip, but no punish. Just goes for the side swap. PRC mix goes low this time and is ready to block it. Okay. Gets a big counter hit, keeps him in the corner once in a one interaction situation. Nope, tries to bait the burst, but Falcor doesn't do it. PRC out, trying to find anything and finds Marvello finds themselves a hit to stay alive and move on over to the next round.
There's still good discipline from Falcor to hold their burst.
Absolutely, not wanting to burst, knowing that we still got more games to play. Rather use it right here than then. They might need to use it soon with these great hits that Marvello's been getting, doing a very good job at strike throw. Galloway coming through, gets overhead as well, tries to bait the burst, but just a little bit too quick on the draw. Falcor and finding a good hit. Dolphin RC into the corner, getting to get a big wall bounce, but doesn't get the combo going. Get a good old-fashioned American reset. And breaks the wall as well. Now Falcor once again on match point. Marvello does have burst to try to make something happen. Find a good counter hit right at the get-go to make that happen.
Grab. Oh wow.
Just goes for the mix once again. Trying to keep him in the corner, knowing they'll have to work very hard in the neutral situation. Puts him at the wall, forces the wall break now. We see positive bonus coming through, spending the meter to BRC, try to gap close. Forces the burst out as well.
Yeah, looking to change the pace here from Marvello too. Didn't really want to commit too hard to anything. Wait until Falcor just was going a little bit buck with the Dolphins and just wanted to force Falcor to make their move first and just see what they would do instead of be on the gas.
Exactly. Just having themselves, playing a little bit more carefully, a little bit more, a safer pressure and that showed that let Falcor put themselves in the guillotine right there. So let's see if Falcor can change their game plan, maybe stay a little bit more passive, or if Marvello can keep controlling the wild animals over on Falcor's end. And you already see from the get-go, the game plan's kind of changed, where Falcor is not just throwing out these buttons, high and mighty, trying to find a hit. They're playing around what Marvello's trying to do, and Marvello's being set in their favor, finds a DP and a good hit as well, goes for the mix and finds it as well for some first round.
UFC, get it the corner here again. Nice. And take the
Doing a good job finding those lows. Doing a very good job. YRC out for Falcor now, though, dealing big damage on that one interaction, forcing the burst up of Marvello. They want to try to keep the dream alive in this first round, saying, I only need one more touch on my end as well to take you out. Now it's Marvello sitting on match. Falcor has 2 more games that they need to do to take it out. Well, let's see if they're able to do it, or Marvello is able to move on to the next stage of history, finding a couple good hits.
Pressure in the corner here. Oh my god! Yo, he is zooming.
He was blocking forever. Can't block forever, and eventually got hit. Forcing the first Falcor, and they find a great counter hit
game.
Yep. Absolutely using the JD to go be a ninja into the next round, taking it 3-2 after a fantastic comeback right there. Marvello just doing a great job showing that it's like, okay, once I calmed down and caught my breath, I definitely became a game into their favor. So we'll hopefully continue to see them do that through the rest of these games, but we'll have to see what they're able to do against the winner of our next game that we have coming up right now, which is Excelancer versus Adventure.
Okay. Geo versus Jacko. Man.
Geo versus Jacko.
I feel like Jackals hate that matchup, but it could be annoying for Geo.
It can definitely be a hard matchup. I think it is a little trickier right now with the Geo dash changes, where her dash block isn't as good as it was before, but she gets the ability to feint dash, which is useful in other situations, but versus a character like Jacko, where sometimes I'm a Leo player, sometimes you're just dash blocking your way into victory. You find yourself that opportunity to then start your game plan. So we'll have to see if Excelancer is able to do that, or if Adventure can keep it going and continue to move on through the brackets to force Marvello to go through the Jacko.
And off rip with the offensive burst from Excelancer here, really keeping the pressure up, and Adventure is getting caught pressing buttons.
Yep, they're trying to find an opportunity and a nice IBFD to start out right at that wall break.
Oh, I think the dash cancel there.
Utilizing one of those season 2 combos to get their game plan going, but a reversal super in the corner. Oh, and it's a command grab super in response. And you're going to get hit and tossed back to the ground with a wall break as well. Both these players sitting at a smidge of life, and it's going to be a great situation for Adventure to be right from the get-go. Defense super means you can't kill these minions. They're going to stay on top of you. And they find a hit on the back side, allowing Adventure to take that first game into their favor, setting the pace, saying, this is not dog country, this is minion country. They throw attack after the stagger rush.
The game getting someone out. You got block.
You gotta fight back sometime. Right now, Excelancer is trying to find an opportunity to mash out. Just hadn't spent meter on the SD, so they could not YRC out of the situation. And Adventure is now putting Excelancer at a 1 pixel situation, but the dive kick super coming through over there. Going to be big damage and allow Excelancer to start the game plan, blocks the burst as well. But it's not going to matter when Johnny from behind comes and slaps you down to the ground. Adventure taking it up 1-0 over Excelancer right now.
Man, that was a pretty another long game actually. I'll go to ask was in game 1 again.
Yep. Yeah, they definitely, these Jacko games where she doesn't deal as much damage, but she's gonna be putting into these reset situations over and over and over again. And then once she gets to a point where she wants, then she's gonna kill you. But she wants to party time. She wants to have all her little goons out. She wants to deal really good damage to the opponent, and so does Excelancer, finding a wall break early on, healing 70% in 2 touches.
What's the DP word? Eventually slowly keeping away.
Trying to find something with those jump ins and goes for a dash up, but Adventure finds a good mash with the purple beat. And the reversal super coming out gets blocked, but the RC keeps it safe to go low. Adventure now in a very dangerous situation. Still has burst on, but dog kick is able to clear through the projectile. That forward momentum doesn't stop Excelancer from taking the ground.
And Excelancer is slowly keeping their way in now. But it doesn't matter if you can switch spots.
A good trade right there to launch each player full screen, removes the minion as well, so Adventure has to reset and allowing Excelancer the opportunity to get an YRC out, saying no minions, no thank you. Drip with the kick, trying to cross up, but allows Adventure to take their turn, keeps pressure into the corner. Minion time finds a nice mash, forcing a burst out of Adventure.
5H can dash up. Oh, and a jump K into 214S. This is death here. Nice.
Yep, this is an excellent read on the situation from Excelancer, tying this game up 1-1.
That 236K chain seems to be pretty useful now.
Yes. Yep.
I feel like it was like okay before, but like just now I feel like they wanted to give it more usage, maybe.
Yep, that's a big theme with a lot of season 2 stuff. Is it's a lot of take what the tools these characters had that were lesser used and figure out ways to make them even better. Now with the changes to 236K, it's become a lot scarier of a tool available for Giovanna's, and you have to worry out for. She lost some of her other tools. Like I think I'd be honestly having that dash be a little bit neutered is a definite downside to her, but she's definitely got some great options that you still have to be worried out for. But Adventure doesn't seem worried at all, just keeping the minions down, saying you're gonna have a great time hanging out with my friends, forcing a burst for Excelancer early on. He gets the command grab
and are we gonna get the minions OP here? And got caught pressing 2K, I believe. Man.
Found that last hit as well. Adventure trying to set the pace into their favor. They're already starting for the get-go. Putting Excelancer into the corner once again and getting another really good counter hit. Keeping them in there with 50 meter as well. Saying minions all the time. Going to be a big chip damage coming through.
Yeah, and that risk is crying.
Yep, the full risk gauge. It's one of those situations where if you don't have the 50 meter YRC there to just blow up those minions, you gotta hold it. You have to hold all that blocking, you have to hold all that risk, and it allows Adventure to mix up just like they did and putting themselves 2-1 over Excelancer right now.
Yeah, it's definitely that's definitely one position that I've always hated when fighting Jacko. Is like they're in the corner and they got their minion super going, and then they just keep going. They just keep going. It just doesn't stop.
Yep. Sometimes you just gotta hold that. You gotta take the risk where you can. And Excelancer was trying to mash out of that opportunity, but they ended up getting hit overhead. And right now they're finding themselves in a great spot, putting Adventure into the corner early on. Nice instant block over there from Adventure, forcing them to do a reset situation instead of allowing them to keep the pressure going. But good damage coming out from Excelancer, already putting Adventure into a sticky situation. It's not going to matter after that last hit as well at the wall break, ending in the perfect over Adventure.
Try to go for the fire area again, just a little bit too late though.
Just trying to close that gap, utilize those pressure going. right now, forcing the burst out for Adventure and finding a great counter hit immediately after the fact. Super for the wall break to maintain the OP as well. Adventure, though, still has 50 meters, though. Potentially try to YRC out of one of these scary situations, but the strike throw with the 50 meter after the positive bonus is going to allow Excellencer to take that round, tying it up 2-2.
Wow.
Yep, just wants to make sure that all these Jacko players stay right where they are, not have to make anyone else worry about them in the future. But we'll have to see if who's able to really tough it out at the very end of this.
The adjustments are definitely there. Excellencer really trying to force using the spot to beat any minions out in the field and just close this as quickly as they can to not let Jago get any type of advantage.
Absolutely. Excellencer already off to a great start as well. The JD not hit high enough right there, so Adventure gets a chance to live in the corner, forcing the gold burst over Excellencer. Now this is a great opportunity for them to reverse the super through. Ends up not getting a hit, blocks low again this time off that mix, same time not having it. And choosing to spend all that meter right there just to try to almost guarantee a hit is a very scary situation if you're not brave enough to throw out right there. More conservative player would have held on to that meter, try to YRC out of Jackal pressure, but Excellencer's not having it. Putting them to, they say, I want to get the match point as quickly as possible. I want to do big damage. I want to force a burst from Adventure on that combo.
Adventure caught the squad. We'll put him out here.
The squad's now behind him. They all went away, or one's still left, but finally gone, building that meter back. Just backs off trying to get Adventure to press something.
Oh, YRC, nice.
A great YRC back. What a smart attempt on the throw tech right there, but Adventure was ready for it. Now Excellencer has to work very hard. They only have a little bit of health left. They have even less after that minion hit coming through. Now putting Adventure a match point for either of these players. Adventure sitting at full minion bar as well into these next rounds. Throw into the corner, dog kick coming through. You gotta hold these plus frames.
Back to DP on the jump didn't really work out though, it was too high.
Adventure's in a very sticky situation. That's a lot of damage coming through. YRC out as well. Trying to check with those 5Ks, but now they have to hold the corner pressure. And they have 50 meter as well. It's using the Jack super coming.
Now you gotta block.
You gotta spend all that meter on FD. You gotta take that throw as well. Next minion coming out. And just immediately building it back down. You have triple minions. This is a very scary situation. Fighting the hit with the minion attack super. Breaking the wall, allowing Adventure to take it 3-2 over Excellencer, allowing him to stay around and move on over to the next game.
I mean, that spot is just still rough against Jacko. Like you're blocking for years.
Yep.
And then you get grabbed.
You're blocking for years, then you got to hold grabs, high, low, strike, throw, all the different bells and whistles that they can do. Or sometimes you just keep holding the block string and they don't want to do anything. They just want to keep building that risk up and just keep that chip damage going because you don't have the meter to block it forever.
Nah, nope. And they will gladly take your meter. I remember I fought Adventure one time and then it was just like, yup, have fun wasting your meter. It's like, well, my bad. Like, you could have it. Here you go.
Absolutely, yeah. It's always tough fighting Jackos when they're just ready to lay down the law, so to speak, and just keep that minion pressure going. It's like, you have to hold this. I'm gonna make you deal with it. I'm just gonna keep doing the thing I want to do.
Yeah, definitely interesting fighting Jack all the time, especially with her new changes. She's looking kind of juiced.
She seems like a potentially very strong character. You know, we've only seen the little bit that we have, you know, through these first weeks. We've got the first major of this patch, CEO, coming up this weekend. So, you know, we'll definitely see what the players are going to be able to do towards there and see what really shifts in the grand scale of things after the end of that.
Yep. For sure. Looks like we got Umi Show, the gunman.
Yep. So yeah, I believe our next match will be Umisho and Test Your Luck once they're coming through on the sticks. But what you can do on the keyboards or the mobile phones or whatever device you're on right now, we got a couple games left. We're on the top 4. Use this match. We're done. We don't. I don't need to talk about it anymore. You guys did it all for me. But you can. There are still multiple quests you can do on there for additional codes you can choose to contribute if you would like. But we got all those codes claimed before grand finals, so thank you all very much. Let's do it again next week, and let's keep doing it on these for all the games available here at Wednesday Night Fights.
All right. Oh boy. Yeah. So far, what do you think of the matches so far? Because we've seen a few close ones.
Yes, these have been some nail biters for a lot of these games. Even some of these, they've been the epitome of GGs, but it was close though.
Yeah.
These all these players have really shown that they put in the time and work to study the season 2 changes and really push these characters to their fullest potential, at least of what we know right now. Definitely people like Test Your Luck and Umisho, who have been very strong players throughout their characters for the entire length that they've had them. Or had them in their hands.
Go back in here.
But we'll have to see if Umisho's ready to handle the pressure over there that Test Your Luck has brought through their previous games versus Excelancer. Marvello's had to fight through the Jacko Gauntlet so far, or they're going to continue to fight through the Jacko Gauntlet, fighting that match versus Adventure coming up in a little bit. So they do seem prepared for it, though. They seem ready to handle it and not going to allow these Jacko players to take these games into their hands. But we're going to take this game over to the next round. Umisho, Test Your Luck in the winners finals match of Wednesday Night Fights Guilty Gear Strive, brought to you by Esports Arena Series. So I can see who's able to take it from the get-go, and a great 2S at the round start, forcing the first for Umisho.
Early burst, not trying to get oppressed by Nago for so early.
And right now just forcing Test Your Luck to do something that's not a normal move right now with all that blood loop sitting on top of them. But Test Your Luck is not willing to press it because they know that will spell death.
I actually am curious to see how Test Your Luck handles this matchup with the new Nago team. I feel they did give him his new kit or his new launch chamber to handle his own. So I want to see if they're comfortable with the changes yet.
We'll have to see if they are, but right now Umisho showing to a great start, getting all those curses applied early on, so they were able to play a little bit of that classic Happy Chaos zoning. And you're going to see once again just going for the wall break, maintain that positive bonus with 50 meter, keeping it safe, allowing them to use those normals to try to pressure up, but find a good counter hit, forcing the first from Test Your Luck.
Test really fighting to get the corner. Oh my god, Command got a little bit too early. Umisho careful when he can hear from his own point carry.
Utilizing the dash cancels, the command rolls, everything they can. It's a coast to coast wall break with Deus Ex Machina at the very end, and you have to hold that throw. Test Your Luck gets their burst back again right at the very end, using it to keep themselves alive, piercing forward, trying to find any kind of opportunity, but Umisho is ready to block those. They've played Hotashi once or twice. They're ready for this matchup, taking that first game 1-0 over Test Your Luck.
Yeah, that was unfortunate too, because that was a really solid 2H, but they traded, so Test Your Luck just had to get clipped for that one.
Yep, it happens to the best of us, and Umisho is definitely one of them, jumping right into the next game. We'll have to see if Test Your Luck is able to fell the beast. They're able to control everything into their plan. But right now, from the get-go, you see a good start from Test Your Luck, finding a good hit into the command grab as well. The IBFD's coming out from Umisho, saying they are ready for this burst out. Keeps Umisho in the corner, having to spend the meter on blocking that pressure and finding a lot of good command grabs to keep that blood gauge down.
Yes. Yeah, Test 1 and 2 the pressure here. No 2H that time. Interesting burst.
Sun's out, guns out for Umi Show right now. Gonna play a little bit of that classic zoning game, but can't do it for too long or too much. And the dash Beyblade at the very end, finding it for Test Luck, trying to turn these tides into their favor. Just trying to get out of there with the clone. Nice frame traps. Nice American reset over there at the very end. Blood gauge popped though. This is not where you want to be versus Happy Chaos character that can keep these combos going forever. Scaling is going to be very tough at the very end. Deus Ex Machina for a wall break. Tester Luck. My goodness, this is a lot of damage, but the close slash or the JH coming through there at the very end. Nice IBFs once again. Umi Show is ready for that pacing that Tester Luck is bringing onto the table. Doing a great job of just continuing to present this. And now,
he's had in a while.
Umi Show has definitely practiced in them maybe once or twice. And Tester Luck, though, trying to find themselves an opportunity to get in. They don't have a lot of blood gauge left, though, and have been very willing to use those specials. Just resetting full screen, but they're not out just yet. Finds a 5H on the gunshot. At a pixel of blood left to stay in that vampire form, allowing Tester Luck to tie it up 1-1.
The aggression from Tester in that game was definitely escalated.
Absolutely, and also that perfect management of their blood gauge, always putting themselves right at the point of going overboard, but not out just yet, and able to utilize it at the very end with that counter hit 5H from nearly full screen. And now Tester Luck potentially swinging things back into their favor, but let's see if Umi Show can keep that pressure going.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
First coming out from the get-go, trying to poke with far slashes for Tester Luck, and that's instead gonna put them in the zone dimension right now.
Got clicked with the video and got shot for it.
Just trying to close with space, but you can't have it when Umi Show's gonna just play a good old-fashioned game of Season 1 Guilty Gear Strive. This clone out as well. Curse is applied once again. Doesn't have the meter. Concentration super, so now Umi Show has to play a normal game. And they're out of the resource as well. PRC trying to strike throw. They have no gunshots, but are able to find a trade at the very end.
Saw the Umi Show not had on the phone or that well, and give it a 2P Tester trying to challenge there. The scoops and the bait.
With the
super nice.
Super. Yep. Blue super for the wall break. Pause that blood gauge to keep going over on the next side, but Umi Show has full resources outside of meter, or full gun resources, not full sister resources, and Tester Luck's gonna be able to recognize that, ending that round with a perfect win.
Ooh, that's 2K. Okay. Let it rip. Nice. No ID that time.
Nope, just very comfortable blocking it, allowing Tester Luck to try to make a mistake, but and just like that, blocking the burst as well. Gonna be big damage for the side swap.
I like that. I think Umi Show was going to leave and basically thinking that Test has been pretty aggressive these past couple of games. So definitely saw that burst coming in. I feel.
And they found themselves a black boot combo as well in the corner, getting a reload to keep that pressure going. You gotta block those frame traps, you gotta spend all that bar. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna do it again. You're not blocking high this time. Superman punch to break the wall. Umi Show now taking it 2-1 over Tester Luck.
Man. Yeah, that's response from Umi Show. Definitely caught on to the aggressive play, like I said before. Just understanding that Test has shown that he's gonna commit. They're gonna commit to, whatever they can to, fulfill that space so that Umi Show can get their game plan started.
Absolutely, yeah. Tester Luck, as we see right there, loves that 2S round start, loves to just start their game plan immediately, and baiting the DP as well with the Fukio in the corner. but that's a full blood gauge, and that's a full resource happy chaos, but they're not able to get the most optimal time. Baseball bat coming through to close the game.
Batter up.
Batter up, and you are out, knocking them into next week. Doing nice IBs, but goes for the throw. A nice IB once again from Umisho. Trying to force Test Your Luck to spend as much blood gauge as possible. Tries to backdash the throw to the RC gets hit from both slash.
Okay, let's mash out in the blue. Oh, wow. Okay.
Great fade on the burst, gonna keep him in the corner as well. Goes for the reload. We're getting that quadruple overheads once again. And you're gonna stay there. Get hit once again. Do it again. And they got hit early on, which messed up Umisho's pressure. And I'm gonna assume that was a messed up super right there at the very end. And right now, Test Your Luck's gonna utilize that to the fullest effect. YRC out. And now Umisho is showing that they can go for the infinite block string, but it was spaced out just at the very end with FD, allowing Test Your Luck to tie it up 2-2. Unfortunate drop right at the very end for Umisho, but Test Your Luck fully capitalizing on that and tying it up.
Oh god. Yo, chat's funny.
Yeah, Test Your Luck has really shown that they are, they're ready to compete with one of the best players in the world for this game, and they have been showing that they are doing a great job handling the tournament pressure. But Umisho just keeping it safe, full screen, gonna do the classic blood gauge punish, and they're gonna find another hit right at the very end, keeping it burst safe, saying you have to come to me, I'm not coming to you. Low bullets though, so it doesn't even matter when you don't need bullets when you got those sweet kicks to close out that round. Umisho now on match point, but Test Your Luck doing their classic aggression and just continuously getting in there. Baits the throw and the burst in one single action. Now Umisho can put themselves in a great pace to take this round. The 6K match is a bold strategy, but it almost worked out for them. Umisho didn't burst at the very end, keep him in the corner, reload one more time, just needs one more interaction, tap dust, keep it at the wall, reload once again, not even wanting to go for the Deus Ex Machina, not even risking a drop input, just goes for a reset situation, and is still able to close it out at the very end. Umisho taking it 3-2 over Test Your Luck.
Yeah. They'll be a solid showing. Tess was really not not trying to let Umisho get anything going there. But Umisho just showing why they're so strong, able to adapt to the aggressive playstyle, and it just seemed he just was aware that Tess was very desperate for any type of advantage. Was able to capitalize on that.
Absolutely, Tess was I'm match point already, I might as well try to make or break, do something that will do something risky that'll try to get me to win this round. But Umisho was prepared for that, just ready to sit back and say, I'll see you in grand finals if you can make it out. But they still have to go through a couple of very hard matches and very tough players on the loser side of things, with Marvello and Adventure coming up on our next game as soon as both those players sit down. Gonna be once again Marvello having to fight a Jacko player.
Oh wow. I haven't seen that before already.
Yep, it's gonna be a familiar situation, so hopefully Marvello is comfortable with it. However, this is Adventure we're talking about. They are consistently shown that they are one of the strongest Jackos in North America, potentially the world even. There's just not that many Jacko players, to be quite honest, because she is a hard character to pilot. And so Adventure's done a great job of showing the strength. I've seen them beat Chips time and time again, but we'll see if they can beat Marvello's Chip.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Obviously with Marvello's set, the last match though, Marvello was really wow.
The DP out of the pressure though, recognizing that strike situation wasn't a throw. Yeah, definitely this is a different Jacko. You can see right from the get-go, you know, we were 10 seconds into the round and they were putting them into the standard minion pressure. Marvello found an opportunity to turn the tides into their favor. And Adventure's going to try to go for it once again, but it's not going to matter. Tries to go for the burst safe route right there. It ends up dropping it, but it's not going to matter when you have that ninja style. They're able to close out the round.
And to throw. Oh, that guy's to avoid the 2P very pressure though.
Pretty fast recovery on that 2B, so unless you were prepared for it, you're not going to be able to punish it. And keeping them at the wall, dust to stick the wall, dust to break the wall. Finding a nice hit with the JH, but dashes the wrong direction, unfortunately, keep the combo going. So Adventure is able to take it, tying this first round of our losers semifinals match up.
Nice fade.
Good wall break right there over for Marvello. Going to try to set the pacing into their favor. Finds a great hit, goes to the Knicks, but Adventure is confident and runs out of there, knowing that it's not real.
The first game looks like going to Marvello.
Absolutely, yeah. Marvello closing it out with the super confirm at the very end, showing the power of a ninja to take it up 1-0 versus Adventure. Adventure is gonna have to, you know, we saw that first game they did. They really set the stage. They were like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. You have to hold it and respect it. And Marvello said, okay, I've held it and I've respected it for 2 games straight. I'm gonna keep holding it and respecting it. So we'll see if Adventure is able to, you know, create those scary situations once again that Marvello is, you know, make Marvello afraid to DP out of the intense Jacko pressure. Or we'll see if Marvello is able to keep the pacing going into their favor, keep the mix going, and keep the ninja dream alive.
Trying to show why they're the Okage here.
Absolutely, but you know, the burst coming out to keep Adventure in the corner after Adventure found themselves an opportunity to get out of the chip pressure cycle.
Nice XP. Then put it back in the corner. And Adventure gets their own grab, and now it's your turn to block.
Set up the minions, set the super going, get a dust full screen. Unfortunately, you don't want to carry those minions across the dimensions with you, and now you have to hold this mix coming from Marvello. Nice backdash out, but they're still able to check it. YRC coming through, checking with the 2K 2D on whiff. This is a one-hit situation for both these players potentially. And the J2K coming down, spinning to win. Marvello taking another point right here in this game. Bashing out of the Gamma Blade Torture, come back close, and reset back to full screen.
Marvello looking more comfortable in this set right now. Adventure trying to shut that down slowly but surely. Super. Oh, never mind.
Count as well. A great read from Marvello, realizing they have the spacing to do that. Yep, Marvello just warmed up. They played their first set of Jacko matches. They said, we're going to keep it going. Just keeping that stagger pressure through. A nice hit as well. But Adventure burst to try to keep their team alive into this game, and are right now setting up the zoning dimension. And it is able to flick a minion from full screen that timed it up.
Still relatively rough for Adventure though, considering that their burst gauge is all looking pretty good.
Yeah, no burst is a very dangerous situation to be in versus Chip when you are the character who has the best normals to pressure out there. Right now Marvello is showing that they're utilizing the pulse effect. Nice burst bait from Adventure though, setting them back to mid-screen. This is their turn to start their pressure going.
Looking for a throw, looking for stay safe.
Finds a good hit, but not able to do the full combo. Air alpha whiffs from that high. Nice trip guard, and now you're stuck in Jacko strike throw. This is the classic situation. Nice backdash out of the dust right there, trying to be cheeky with the overhead.
Maybe trying to this spacer. And just goes in, doesn't it? Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Definitely.
The spin kicks covering every option that Marvello could have pulled out right there to tie it up 1-1. You know, Adventure saying, I want that first place. I need to get through just a chip. A chip, that's nothing. I can chip health every single game if I'm able to get that minion super off. But Marvello's still fighting back, still showing strong. These games have been going down to the wire so far once these players have gotten a feel for themselves.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Game 3 here. Yeah, I think we get the first hit. Nice.
Puts them into strike throw dimension. Yep, DP's out and hits the minion, so Adventure got a good punish to set the pressure up once again. Dust going high, but no minion attack to keep the combo going. Now you're stuck in the strike throw dimension. RC out quickly to get a perfect, to get the pacing going into their favor. Good hits coming over from both players, just trying to control the space, trying to find the opportunity to start their game plan. And right now it looks like after that whiff throw, and then another whiff throw, it's now Marvello's turn to start that game plan.
Yeah, gonna get there again, doesn't matter. And that's a block. Gonna be aware that Marvello wanted to keep the corner.
Marvello wants to keep the corner, wants to keep that mix going, but right now, Adventure is willing to just stand by, hold the back button. Unfortunately, you can't hold back when you're getting mixed on the opposite side overhead. Tying it up right now. Both these games, like I said, they've been going to the wire, and they're going to keep going, find a good counter hit right at the round start.
And got shielded, and got caught pressing. Oh, that's how you do at the corner, but it doesn't matter. Get Adventure back on his side.
Punish is a great situation for Adventure if you're trying to win this tournament, but you're not out just yet, not close enough to the wall to guarantee a kill, so now you have to try to find something else. But Chip has a DP, he's got fast movement, he can find himself something to get out of there. But the minions on the ground saying, stay down here. It's Adventure's time to shine, taking a 2-1.
Yeah, looked pretty rough too, because Adventure just shot Jump Dust, and then also had a minion down there. So looked like Marvello was kind of sandwiched.
Yep, it's, you know, we got set into the classic Persona sandwich situation right there. Yeah. So it's a hard situation to deal with, and you know, Adventure was able to just utilize that to the fullest effect at the very end of that round. We'll just see if Marvello can utilize this reset of the situation now to take these next 2 games, or if Adventure is able to close it out. And J2K doing a great job forcing a burst out for Adventure. PRC to block the DP in the corner as well. It's going to be big juggle damage, but not dead just yet.
Well, that's just about his minions up there. Over the top, going to break the wall here.
Just knock him over, same side, use that super as well. More of a positive bonus, so they can't get even more meter potentially. And now they're stuck in the mix. BRC to try to block YRC to get out of Adventure situation, and the dust at the very end. Adventure now sitting on match point, a very familiar situation for them these past couple rounds. Dust coming again and again. Marvello, you gotta block high sometimes. Adventure just setting the pacing, just willing to block, and then getting hit overhead as well. The kick super to break the wall, though. Adventure has 50 meters, so they can potentially YRC out of the situation as well as they have burst. They have a lot of resources to use keep themselves alive, but the command grab super is going to come out during the Cannon Blade, but a PRC back keeps them safe, wasting the meter. Marvello with a great read on that situation, keeping themselves alive. Adventure, though, still just needs a couple of touches to win the game, while Marvello's got to take it a little bit further on.
They're slowly putting it to the corner. Denial by SPP. What was his XP? Offensive burst?
It just keeps never gets thrown themselves. You got a minion out here, and you're not spending that on wires. This is a dangerous situation. Command grab super across the wall. Marvello doesn't have that much health left. This is looking like a game that could potentially be in Adventure's favor, but anything is possible with the power of being a ninja. But RRC coming through and finding a low at the very end. Adventure taking it 3-1 over Marvello. We're going to see Adventure move on over into the losers finals match versus Test Your Luck coming up here very, very soon.
Yep, Marvello did seem pretty more confident in that set for sure. But Adventure very quickly shut him back down to being a Jonin. It's okay.
Yep, it's one thing to be prepared for Jacko, but it's one thing to be prepared for Adventure in a given situation. Marvello did a great job. Like we said, those games were going down to the wire again and again and again and again. But Adventure just utilizing that power, the adventure threat, essentially, to eke out those games at the very end. And so now it looks like we'll see this next game come on up. Test Your Luck, trying to get the run back versus Umi Show in the grand finals, or Adventure potentially wanting to get the set versus Umi Show there, try to take this tournament in their favor. But let's see if they can if who's going to be able to make it through who. Nagaryuki versus Jacko. This is this is a harder matchup for Nagaryuki. We've seen this in the past before, where Nagaryuki kind of just gets stuck in the corner. They just have to hold back. They have to hold block. They have to hold those minions coming. They have to hold everything Jacko does. They don't have the ability to get out of that pressure cycle sometimes even. And then with the blood gauge, oh my gosh, her long combos with those minion extensions can spell like your blood just spills out all over the ground with the blood gauge pops potentially. But especially with how aggressive Test Your Luck is, that is something we could see. But we'll have to see what happens in real time in this game of Adventure versus Test Your Luck.
Start 2B. Love to see it.
The one-hit stun dipper on a button, but a cash Fukio forcing the burst out for Adventure.
Yeah, Texas really wants the changes there went to Fukio Beyblade.
Super. I mean, you don't have the resources to block this forever. And guess what? Jacko does have the ability to get another attack super and drops the combo, but it's not going to matter when you get the reset. Adventure setting the pace in this first game.
And listen to command grab and Adventure go and start their own. And it matters answers right back immediately.
Finding a good hit, nice instant blocks over on that mix, showing it multiple times. But Adventure is making bank off that dust button today, using it again and again to catch people out. Test Your Luck doesn't have the special moves as well to really spend with this high blood gauge. If to make something happen with those normals, and it looks like they're doing a great job of it. Adventure now bursting. Gets hit with the 2S over there from Test Your Luck. A great read on the situation. The Wing Adventure was going to want to press just Fukio's back and because the forward gets a command grab as well in the corner. This is exactly where Test Your Luck wants to be, but gets thrown out of their own grab. 5H counter hit. That blood gauge is about to pop. So this is a great spot for Adventure and control the spacing. RRC coming through trying to close the gap, but this is not looking good until they found that gap closer.
All in the burst. Yeah. was looking at the end there too. Like Adventure was really trying to set the minions just to be able to not let Tess like even come near him or near them. But Tess just was ready with the 5H, ready to smack the minion out the way, and then just go and just rush in.
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely a it was a situation where Adventure was playing to not lose but not to win, and unfortunately Testralok was able to retake that read on that situation and just get in there to close the gap and allowing them to take that first game 1-0, and already finding a great opportunity right at the get-go, just utilizing those buttons of the no cancel on the 2-8 as well. Finding anything with a 2H when it's that close. That's that new season change with that reduced hitbox right at the front. So it's now Jacko's turn to minion gauge through and through and through, holding block as well in case of any burst attempts. But now Testralok's turn to keep them in the corner. That's a lot of blood coming through, so even if you get that 6H, it's not going to matter. And now an immediate burst out, so going to try to close it out.
Return. And it doesn't matter if you're gonna get that 5K.
Yep, 5K coming to check anything that Testralok could do from there. Just pressing the fast food button after the frame 0 freeze.
And now Tess have to play it pretty clean here because they might not get their burst back.
Well, they're gonna have to block a lot, so they eventually could get it back, but they have to hold on chip damage first. Let's see if they can find themselves an opportunity to get out of there, and they're gonna hit the minion at the very end, so it's not even gonna matter. And at least in this game, with Adventure now tying it up 1-1.
Yeah, definitely saw adjustments from Ed there too. I think the first game, pretty much ran the same game plan. It was just, really was just catching on to, Tess again going buck, and then just capitalizing on whatever. Like you saw, like he'll go for that 2H when that one really doesn't work anymore because they changed the hitbox, and just Ed was just on that.
Yep. Sometimes you think you're a little closer than you are, and we're still experimenting with these season 2 changes, so some season 1 muscle memories coming through. Happens to me all the time, but Test Your Luck is using that muscle memory to deal big damage. Adventure already at a blink away from death, finding hit with Fukia, but didn't get the full follow-up, so they got to continue that low pressure with the perfect, hadn't even the meter to spend to keep it going. So Test Your Luck setting themselves into a great opportunity. Fukio back, gets the command grab in as well. Blood gauge reduced, so they can use all these specials with a lot less threat, forcing the burst out for Adventure. Oh my goodness, and a nice hit with the 2F right there with the RC, and the 6H is gonna close it out. Is that back-to-back perfect?
I believe so.
Oh my goodness, Test Your Luck, setting the pacing and just saying, you are in my house, you are in my dimension, with the mad damage coming through over there. So we'll have to see if they're able to keep that going, or if Adventure is able to calm down and keep it going into their favor. But that, just from that alone, if Adventure's not able to adjust it to stop Test Your Luck from doing that again, then it's GG, shake my hand.
Yeah. Firmly shake it.
Firmly grasp it. And we're going to see if Test Your Luck is going to be able to firmly control the pace right here, but Adventure is just keeping it safe, but a counter hit Beyblade in the corner. It's going to spell big damage as well. 55, 60% at the get-go, but that's a lot of blood gauge. Still sitting there, but a 2H counter hit says it's not even going to matter. Oh, baits the burst as well, but Adventure was not having it, and it doesn't matter when you hit that Dust RC with 3 perfects in a row so far. Let's see if Test Your Luck's able to do it one more time, but Adventure, okay, they got a hit. It's not a perfect. They got a hit. They got a hit. And they got that blood gauge going up as well. Just like Pixel. After that, Test Your Luck's doing a great job once again, knowing exactly where their meter gauge is going to be at all times. Fortunately, they got counter hit there. That command grab super, scooping them over to the other side of the wall. Test Your Luck is a lot more to work through. The 5H Fukio's coming through. RC coming forward, wires out, saying you're not going to be able to do any kind of that blood reduction.
Trying to 2H.
It tries to 2H, got hit with the Guard Crush minion. Test Your Luck still sitting on match point though. They get to play that game just like they were previously. It could, it'll show them moving on over to that run back versus Unisho. Fighting the command grab, so this is a great start for them. 6H as well. Fukio, or Beyblade to Fukio Ivy, and using all the specials trying to find an opportunity to close this out. Guard Crush Sheeper now allowing Edge to take their turn.
2S 5H to close it out.
Yep. Test Your Luck, just keeping it calm, using the tools that a samurai has on their hands at all times to take that one 3-1 over Adventure, and now they're going to get that run back. They're going to face the one who knocked them back, who knocked them into losers in the beginning. We'll have to see. That was a 3-2. That was anybody's game really the last time they played. So
Yep.
We'll have to see if Test Your Luck is able to move past that, if they're able to push forward to slay the beast, or if Umisho will be able to take another title under their belt.
Well, yeah, for sure. I have no doubt that I think Tess can do it. Like, I mean, they did it once, they can do it again. It was close to last time. So, if Tess can really capitalize on, knowing when to back off, really, and sometimes not bait burst so hard.
Yeah. That is definitely something Test Your Luck has done. We saw it a couple times in that Adventure game where they were just willing to do the hardest burst baits possible without continuing the combo. And sometimes you just have to let them burst in those situations. And it looks like we're going to be jumping right into that first game as well. A nice 2S from the get-go, putting Test Your Luck into a great position. But those IVs from Umisho doing a great job. Now forcing the burst. Close slash starter spells big damage, keeps him in the corner. No wall break, but a backdash throw coming from Umisho.
The second here, now Tess in the corner. I think it's backdash on the grab, but doesn't matter, he had meter.
Spent the grab again as well, trying to just in case, but Umisho now putting them in the wall slumped loops. Tap dust coming through, but you blocked it this time. Somebody blocked the dust high. And they were able to almost utilize that into keeping the pressure, but Umisho found an opportunity to take it once again. Nice backdash. Going low. It's hit by dust once again. And now Test Your Luck, setting the field. You can see that in motion, setting the gears in motion to turn this match into their favor. That's a lot of blood getting. They have to do something to potentially stop it, or Umisho could take this game out in a felt sweep.
The Wild Wild West, the old gun drawing. The good old Yosemite sound. Okay.
But you have to spend more time reloading. You have to spend that concentration to fully get it back. So you have no concentration, but spending the super to try to get it back, and it's not even gonna matter when you slip and slide right under. Tied it up so far in this first game of our grand finals.
Oh, really? So success there for the flow. So really trying to force their win now. Was it full screen a little bit too long?
Yeah, you don't want to let the Happy Chaos just sit full screen, because they'll just be able to continuously keep their zoning game up unless they run out of bullets like they've done so far, so they're not even able to keep that counter hit extension going. Now, Umisho has to play with buttons while Test Your Luck gets to walk in full screen. RRC coming through to get those gun loops going, finding a bullet at the very end to close it out. Umisho now up 1-0 versus Test Your Luck. You see where they're, this is Umisho. I feel like this is the most I've seen them expend through resources and not be prepared to get them back in a long time. So these
yeah.
definite season 2 changes, where you have to be a little bit even more cautious than you were with them already, is definitely taking its toll so far. So we'll have to see if Test Your Luck can use that to try to swing these last couple of games through, or if Unisho is able to keep the streak going.
Questionable concentration there, but they Test capitalize on that with the 5K what it is. Nice.
Yeah, a good reaction to that concentration is ultimately when you can get away with something like that and a Beyblade to speed through that round. And we show now they're being a little riskier now. They're trying to spending all those bullets early on just to not go full screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Those cuts going through and through so far.
Interesting.
Yep, and then just that classic Umisho happy chaos zoning right at the very end. Being able to use those curse the concentration to play that good old-fashioned game plan, but now they have to play good old strike throw. No mix this time. Gold burst out though for Test Your Luck. It could be a great starter for them, but thrown out of it.
Oh, what a far slap. Oh my lord.
Oh my goodness, and the Deus Ex Machina at the very end. Gonna be able to shoot and break the wall, but they're not dead just yet because Nago's a healthy lad. So now they have to hold this pressure. The YRC out and is blocked using those minus range. Umisho now up 2-0 versus Test Your Luck.
Seems like Umisho got enough data from the previous set to really capitalize on this, and Test seems they did. I like to see just a few. I mean, obviously, when you're full screen against Happy Chaos and you're playing a character like Nago, is like, it can still be rough, but I feel like there's not really capitalizing when they're in like this. Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is Test Your Luck is, they're in a very similar situation to what we've seen earlier on, where some of these players are put into I'm trying not to lose, not trying to win scenarios, but that's a great air throw, and with the air hit Blood Rage, it's going to keep them safe. So they're going to get some big damage off that first starter. Right there, and a Beyblade coming through as well. No burst baits here, just damage. Umisho saving it in the pocket.
Oh, wow. What a shot.
Finding some good shots, finding those commando rolls through, keep them at the wall, concentration, get some reload. You gotta hold this as well, get hit overhead once again, let's do it again. The story of the season with Umisho so far is just looping this over and over and over, doing it once again, one more time through the road.
Yeah, good measure. Oh, do it because you want to flex. Okay.
Flex. You want to flex, you gotta hold these blocks, but that's a very scary thing to do.
Block some more. Nope, where you going? Block some more. Nope, block again.
For the BRC.
Block some more.
With the perfect Umisho wanting to style on them, putting themselves in a match point situation as well. And now we're going to see the burst coming up for Test Your Luck, coming back and moving quickly to try to get this game going into their favor, but Umisho is already setting himself on a good path so far. Shots keep going further and further and further. Blood Rage coming out as well. This is not the kind of situation you want to be in. And tries to go for the JK wall break, but was too late after the full reload, so now get some health back after that command grab, but the JH coming through. Umisho closing out the rounds with a 3-0 in your grand finals here for Guilty Gear Strive at Weds Night Fights.
Man.
What an exciting set of games right there, right at the very end. Umisho just constantly pressuring, and they wanted those style points at the very end. They were just showing off that flair. They weren't ending with the Deus Ex Machina. They were wanting to flex. They wanted to flex. They wanted to show off Happy Chaos, show that they are still incredibly, they're still an incredible threat that you have to deal with and you have to be prepared for no matter what bracket they're in. So
Nerf to wear.
An exciting set of games. Over here, once again, congratulations to Unisho for winning this one and Test Your Luck. That was an excellent set of games right there, making it all the way back from your first set, grinding out through those losers finals games. And congrats to everybody in our top 8 as well. An excellent set of games, and we'll hope to see you all in future weeks.